a little special semen.
Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. Jackson Mahomes is as good of a brother to Patrick as Scar was to Mufasa Perna. Patrick Mahomes receives less support from his family than he does his defense. I'll explain why Patrick needs to silence Fredo moving forward. Jamal Adams had a disastrous Sunday Night Football intro.
I'm the best in the nation.
And Aaron Rodgers became the first active player to own another NFL franchise. It was a great Sunday of NFL action. The Cardinals and the Cowboys are making the NFC great again, and I will bring you the best and worst of Week 6 here on That's Good Sports. Please take a moment and subscribe to this YouTube channel, especially if you're a fan of NFL football. I got you covered if you like NFL stuff. Also, I will have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts at the end of this episode, so Patreon, stick around for that. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by buyraycon.com/thatsgoodwork. That's good work, new code. And Raycon just dropped their work earbuds, which feature active noise canceling, which I can use to zone out when I'm editing my 4th video of the day, and microphones allowing you to make hands-free calls for work, or just to check in and say hi to mom. As you can see, I make all my calls while multitasking with fall chores. And just like the everyday earbuds I've been rocking for 2 years, you have a range of color options and earhole fit options with memory foam tips. 32 hours of battery life and Raycon's 45-day free return policy. My wife was the most excited about the Raycon Work earbuds. She does a ton of conference calls, and the 6-microphone system is ensuring her calls are crystal clear. And I think she's using the active noise canceling feature to tune me out. So click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/thatsgoodwork to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. A sweet deal considering Raycons are the most competitively priced premium audio brands out there. Best and worst starts in London town. Dolphins at Jags. Worst. You know how I know the Jags are a bad team? They made their first field goal of the season in this game. Now, this was Tua's first game back since week 2. It's hard to say if he makes the Dolphins offense that much better or if the Jaguars defense is simply that bad. But he started kind of hot before the Dolphins lost. Best, the Jaguars getting their first win due to the spirit of Gardner Minshew. Jags kicker, Matthew Wright, bent the game tying field goal like Beckham. Then Wright nails the game-winning kick to give the Jags the win in London, snapping their 20-game losing streak. Worst, the Jaguars have not broken their American losing streak, which still stands at 20 games. Vikings versus Carolina. Worst, Sam Darnold is starting to look like the Jets' Sam Darnold without Christian McCaffrey in the lineup. Darnold completed just 17 of his 41 attempts. Someone, please check Adam Gase's whereabouts immediately and quarantine anyone with mononucleosis. Best, Robbie Anderson making up for too many drops and scoring a touchdown with less than a minute in this game to help the Panthers tie this one up. Best, Kirk Cousins got clutch and fired the game-winning TD to KJ Osborne in overtime, never giving the Panthers a chance to win in OT. He may not be vaccinated, but damn it, watching this Vikings offense is a shot in the arm. Osborne emerging as a really nice number 3 receiver as well. Chargers at Ravens. Worst, we got tricked. This was supposed to be the best game of the day, and it turned out to be just another Sunday morning blowout. Which is a dad, the word blowout now means baby's diaper unable to contain diarrhea. Diarrhea, also how I describe the Chargers' rushing attack in this game. Unfortunate after Brandon Staley went viral for talking about how you use the run game to physically control and wear down your opponent. Best, the Ravens are really fucking good. I don't think the Chargers are frauds. They just ran into a buzzsaw, which is weird because I called the Chargers a buzzsaw last week. The Ravens defense held the Chargers to just 6 points, outrushing them by a mark of 187-26 and controlling the ball for over 38 minutes of the game. Best Chargers memes on Twitter, trying to comfort me with this.
A little special semen. A little special semen.
Yes, that was a clip of Justin Herbert from the preseason talking about the thing Phillip Rivers left in his locker for Herbert before leaving for Indianapolis.
A little special semen.
Worst, Brandon Staley set the Nerds back as the Bullies won this week. 1 of 4 on 4th down, including a very stupid attempt on 4th from the Chargers' own 19. Good news for Chargers fans. All they need to right the ship again is
a little special semen.
Rams versus Giants. Worst? This was another baby diaper of diarrhea in the early games. Matthew Stafford was nearly flawless, throwing 4 touchdowns, including 2 to Cooper Kupp, who already has 7 this season. Kupp said after the game that the standard is to catch everything you're supposed to and half of the things you're not. After hearing that, he should probably go get tested. Best. This was the first game in NFL history to finish with a score of 38-11, a phenomenon known as scoregami, based on the ancient Japanese art of folding paper. Although this game nearly qualified for scorekaki, which is when one team releases all of the scores on another unit that they hold to single digits. 38-9 would have been scorekaki. Any score over 30 with the opponent scoring less than 10 qualifies as scorekaki, based on the ancient Japanese art of... Do I need to spell it out for you? Bukaki. Texans versus Colts. Oh my God, it's a scorekaki. Colts win 31-3. Scorekaki. Best. Jonathan Taylor had another big game, putting up 140 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Colts scorekaki the Texans at home. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz, who led the NFL in interceptions last year, has thrown just 1 all year for Indy. Carson Wentz officially has more sprained ankles this season than interceptions. Worst, here's the Davis Mills experience. 0 points against Buffalo, followed by 22 points against New England, followed by 3 points against Indy. He's looked like a future starter and like a guy who needs to be cut. But then again, welcome to the 2021 rookie QB class. My takeaway after watching Dak throw up 445 against the Pats, paired with General Mills picking the Patriots apart, is the Patriots defense is bad. Chiefs at Washington football team. Best? Patty Mahomes threw another Jameis Winston-like interception. At this point, I think Mahomes has out-Jameised Jameis himself, but Mahomes was able to bounce back for a 3-touchdown game against a Washington defense that can't figure itself out despite all of their talent. Worst, Washington retired Sean Taylor's number on Sunday, but that didn't stop Jackson Mahomes from doing a TikTok dance on the number 21 that was sectioned off on the field. If you don't know, Sean Taylor was shot and killed in a home robbery in 2007. And we should all be criticizing the Washington football team for this half-assed tribute to Taylor, which was clearly put on to take the heat off of their Gruden email scandal. Instead, Jackson Mahomes bails them out by disrespecting the dead for TikTok, which I think makes him the new Logan Paul, except nobody gets to punch him for money. Look, if someone ever dances on my grave, I would at least hope it's because they hate me and not because of TikTok. And the worst part, this isn't even a cool dance. There's no skill required to do this fucking moonwalk or something, especially if your name is Jackson. And look, there are a lot of Chiefs fans on Twitter defending him, saying this area was chained off for those people to stand during the game. Don't care. You gotta know what you're standing on. Doing that shit is very disrespectful. And honestly, I feel bad for Patrick Mahomes. I think he needs to hire a PR firm to mitigate how stupid his family is on social media. No, better yet, borrow from Aaron Rodgers and disown your family now. And do it publicly, but say I disown you. Packers, Bears, worst. Justin Fields threw an interception on what he thought was a free play. The refs saw that and said, whoa, there's only one guy who can do that, and it sure the hell isn't you. Fields finished with 1 touchdown pass and 174 yards through the air. He has yet to truly look impressive as a starting NFL QB. Best, Aaron Rodgers iced the game on a touchdown run and then mercilessly taunted the crowd. Let's take a listen again.
At the pylon, touchdown Packers. It's Rodgers running for the score. Right on cue, Joe.
Andrew Brandt, who did the most important reporting of the weekend, stated the full Rodgers soundbite was, I've owned you all my fucking life. I own you. I still own you, which was confirmed by David Bakhtiari.
Sometimes you black out on the field. in a good way. I definitely blacked out. I looked up in the stands and in the front row, all I saw was a woman giving me the double bird.
Bengals at Lions. Best, Joe Burrow has thrown multiple touchdowns in every game this season, putting up 3 more against Dan Campbell's gang, sending the Lions to 0-6 on the season. The Bengals are in second place in the AFC North, ahead of both the Browns and the Steelers, and unfortunately they gave up too many points against the Lions to have a score at cocky. Best, Jamar Chase proving drafting a tackle or a lineman would have been incredibly stupid for the Bengals, since Jamar Chase himself may be the best blocking receiver in the NFL. Worst, Dan Campbell calling out Jared Goff after the game.
I feel like he needs to step up more than he has. And I think he needs to help us.
Basically, he's insinuating he is tired of watching everyone beat Goff. I'm assuming Campbell doesn't like quarterbacks throwing it out of bounds on 4th down. Cardinals versus Browns. Worst. Arizona dominated the Browns without their head coach, who you know was sitting in his big-ass desert house watching his assistant coaches make his job look incredibly easy. Best. The Cardinals are unequivocally the best team in the NFC and may get even better with Zach Ertz boosting one of their few weak points. Best. With Hail Murray on the sideline, the Browns launched their own last-second bomb, and Baker Mayfield's prayers were answered by Donovan Peoples-Jones. The Browns were plagued by injuries. In fact, I think the actual plague takes less people. Baker, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Jedrick Wills, Jack Conklin, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah all hurt to varying degrees. Hunt may miss up to 6 weeks, and JOK is heading to IR, and Baker's shoulder may be more out of place than me in a men's fashion magazine. Worst, this call.
Roughing the passer, number 97. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
The refs have been bad all season, but to quote John Gruden, this is clueless anti-football bullshit. And that will be the end of me quoting John Gruden. Cowboys versus Patriots. Worst, this was the game of the week. One of the candidates for game of the year, and I naturally missed it because I had to watch my team get the shit kicked out of them with my very own eyes in person. Best, Randy Gregory demolished Mac Jones in the second quarter, preventing the Patriots from taking a 2-score lead and forcing a fumble that got the Cowboys back in the game. Why is this a true best, though? Because it was a hard hit on a quarterback that did not get flagged. Yeah! Thank you, NFL, for allowing this to happen. It won't happen again for the rest of the season, but I appreciate it. Best and worst? Trayvon Diggs had a pick 6 to give the Cowboys a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then on the very next play, he and the safety gave up a 75-yard touchdown to Kendrick Bourne Ultimatum, who regained the lead for the Patriots. Diggs, congrats for tying Rod Woodson for the most picks in a team's first 6 games with 7, and tying Brian Russell as the only player with 1 or more picks in each of your first 6 games of the season. Worst, Bill Belichick coached ultra conservatively at the end of this game. He elected to run the clock out to send the game into overtime, and then when the Pats had 4th and 3 in OT, he punted the ball back to Dak and the boys rather than attempting to extend the drive, and I'll let you guess what happened next. Dak throws the game-winning touchdown to CeeDee Lamb, and knowing he can't lose yards for taunting, Lamb waves goodbye to Jalen Mills after he seals the Dallas victory. The football gods threw a flag of their own, straining Dak Prescott's calf on that touchdown throw. Good thing for Dallas, they're about to hit their bye week, and now we know for sure though, God is indeed a very old white man who also hates taunting. Raiders at Broncos. Worst, the Broncos were outcoached by a team with no fucking coach. I didn't think it was possible, and at the same time, I'm not even slightly surprised. That's the football world I live in. Best, in all seriousness, the Raiders played an excellent game less than a week after the sudden resignation of their head coach. Rich Bisaccia was essentially the best Italian head coach in this game, and Derek Carr was dropping dimes left and right. And I'm pretty sure the soon-to-be unemployed Vic Fangio and Pat Shurmur went onto the field after the game to try and pick up said dimes. And finally, Sunday Night Football, Steelers versus Seahawks. Best, Chris Collinsworth being genuinely funny.
I didn't know whether I should circle that or not.
However, with a close-up shot of this magnitude of Big Ben's butt, this game was ruled TVMA, and some children were not able to sleep as this caused nightmares across the country. Worst, Jamal Adams introduced himself as
Jamal Adams, I'm the best in the nation.
While his PFF ranking showed he's a 62 out of 85 at his position. Then he did this with the game on the line, which is making Jets fans very happy, as Seattle is 2-4 with the Jets owning their first round pick due to the Adams trade. Not a best or a worst here, but just a plain out sad. Poor Big Ben really thinks this is how you throw a football now.
Ben almost threw an interception.
Worst, Steelers fans doing the wave during Darrell Taylor's injury during the game. This was a serious injury where he was carted off the field in a situation where he wasn't moving his extremities, where people were fearing the worst. And Steeler fans do the wave because they got bored, officially making them the Jackson Mahomes of NFL fan bases this week. Best, the Seahawks made it to overtime despite the Jamal Adams illegal use of face, despite having Geno Smith instead of Russell Wilson, and despite DK Metcalf not going out of bounds when the team had no timeouts, and also fumbling the ball. And in OT, despite the Steelers getting the ball first, the Seahawks fumbled the game away because there is one immovable force in Pittsburgh right now, and his name is TJ Watt, who, in a play nobody could have seen coming, stripped Geno Smith of the ball to win the game, and also robbed Geno Smith of the Benchwarmer Brew Player of the Week award. That's how you promote your own coffee brand, kids. Watt wears number 90 because he's 90% of the reason the Steelers won. 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, and 3 pass deflections, or as I call them, ball beaters. And finally, our Patreon shoutouts. Big thanks to new patrons. Eric Thompson. Is that you, former roommate, Eric? Tim, Big Poopy Wiener, upping to $5. Hate your singing, but still take my money. I will. Brennan Gonzalez, J Mars D 420, Johnny Rockford, Johnny, you're the man, Adrian Ortiz, and Kyle, who wants to be known as just another ignorant Chiefs fan. Patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. That's how you support this channel. I will be doing my Patreon Zoom meeting hopefully next week. Thursday Night Football kind of messing it up for this week with the Broncos, but next week.